This is wild swimming in Scotland's longest freshwater loch, and this is so amazing. I have made it from Loch Lomond to Loch Awe, which is the longest freshwater lake in the UK. Got my chair with me, got my camping chair, so I'm going to try and find a good spot. I was lucky because I checked on the camping app Park for Night to see if there was a spot, and there was just down the road. So I'm now at quite a large car park on the side of the road that will be nice for tonight. Look at these cabins, pretty cool. Quite a nice holiday spot. And I'm guessing since they're here, there'll be a spot to go down to the loch shores. So I'm really quite far west now. Glencoe's all the way behind those mountains, I think. There's some guys fishing back there. They seem quite shocked to see me because I think I'm in quite a rural, not often visited place now. But this beach down here looks pretty good. Oh, here we go. This is really impressive. Loch Awe, stunning. Wow. Let's plonk myself down and sink in the views. Oh. This video's a lot more chill, a lot more low-key than the last few. It's just a lot more peaceful and tranquil. The area, not touristy at all. There's only me and a few locals and probably a few holiday people in the lodges, and that's it. I was only planning on going to the head of Loch Awe that has quite a cool castle there, and swimming there and parking up for the night there, but the road was closed, so I had to drive further along the loch. Well, I chose to drive further along the loch to see if there's any hidden gems that I could find, and then I've walked a little bit down the road, found a little path down, and then I'm met with this beach and these views. I'm so glad I brought my camping chair. It's quite a comfortable one, and it means I don't have to sit on the rocks or anything. We always drive straight up to Glencoe or Fort William or past there. But now I'm doing a 5-week road trip. I'm able to take the time and visit less known places like this and just appreciate them more. I'm able to just sit and relax instead of just rushing from spot to spot and not taking it in or appreciating it as much as I could do. I'm here at Loch Awe because I'm trying to tick off lots of places in Scotland that I haven't been to, and also revisit some places that I have. Loch Awe is one of those places that I haven't been to, and I just thought I can't miss visiting a loch like this with such dramatic scenery, stunning waters, that also is the longest freshwater lake in the UK. I couldn't really not come here. There's a lot to do in Scotland, but in 5 weeks I can just take a day or two slow and not rush around doing everything. I hope it's not too shallow for too long. I'm not going to stay in here for as long as I have been doing because the weather is not as good as it was, and unfortunately it's going to be a bit colder for the foreseeable future, so I need to be, you know, a bit more careful with all these cold water loch swims. I'm not going to lie, the water smells pretty funny. It smells a bit funky and I don't know what it is. I'm not going to swim out too deep because I'm by myself and there's not many people around to help if I get into trouble. And obviously the deeper you go, the colder it gets. It was around 28 degrees for the last 2 or 3 days, but I think it's going to shoot down to the teens. But honestly, I'm actually happy that the weather's not going to be quite as good, because it means I was less able to do some of the adventures I wanted to do, because I'd just get overheated and annoyed. But yeah, I can now climb mountains and go on runs and everything, and still be able to do things like this, because I'm fine. As long as the lochs aren't too cold, and if they are, then I've got my wetsuit and life jacket. I do love ticking things off, and being able to say that I swam in the longest freshwater loch. It's just so cool. And I did jump off the Falls of Falloch last video, which in reality did nearly kill me, but it was great fun. If you haven't watched that video, go and watch it. I jump off this 30-foot waterfall, and on my first attempt, my foot slipped in my slider, and I did nearly fall off the waterfall onto the rocks below, because you have to leap quite far out to avoid the rocks. I nearly died. So yeah, if you haven't watched that, go and watch it. But it's a lot more adventure and adrenaline fueled in this video. This one's just a lot more peaceful, a lot more relaxing. Wild swimming in a loch in Scotland is a lot more enjoyable than showing you around my van. But I will do it at some point. So guys, unfortunately, quite recently my drone that was a big part of all these videos did break. So if you're wondering why there's an absence in drone footage, that's why. And also a few months ago, my camera broke as well. So if you're wondering why it's only GoPro, it's because my camera and drone have both broken. So yeah, that's why the photos and the videos on the channel aren't quite up to a certain standard. But at the same time, I really do enjoy filming just GoPro. It relieves quite a lot of the stress, it makes it a lot more natural, and it's a lot more enjoyable to film. But I do understand the videos look much better if all three are balanced out: GoPro, camera and drone. So if you want to support the channel and help me go on adventures like this and fund future equipment, the link for the Patreon will be in the description. Obviously you don't have to, but it would help us out. If I was you, I wouldn't do it, so you really don't have to, but it's there if you do want to support. Anyway guys, I'm going to sit, relax for a bit, take in the loch, get changed, and then I'll go and show you the camping spot for the night. Even though they do look a little bit strange, I do recommend these robes, these toweling robes, because they're pretty good for drying yourself and obviously for getting changed. Is always a nightmare if you have to have a normal towel and, you know, wrap it around yourself. So this thing is absolutely wonderful. The hood is a bit unnecessary though. I look like one of the Death Eaters from Harry Potter. I'm still just in absolute awe, Loch Awe, no one, of this view. Because I've been to Scotland a few times, and finding hidden gems and new spots is such a good feeling that I can recommend to other people or visit in the future. If you go on detours, if it looks like nothing's going to pop up in Scotland, it does. Things just tend to come good. I'm a huge tennis fan and I've been watching Wimbledon loads, but the later stages of the tournament was when I've been here in Scotland, so I've got this view while watching the Wimbledon final. Alcaraz versus Sinner. Pretty good, pretty good. Having my own bedding and pillows is so nice. Just gives it that bit of luxury. I finished watching the Wimbledon final an hour or two ago. What a match, by the way. Sinner beat Alcaraz, and I've just come out the van to go and look at sunset. Got the camp chair, and I've just been greeted with the most magnificent view. This is probably the best view and the best lighting I've seen in Scotland so far. Look at this. Oh my gosh, I actually can't believe it. Look, the sun's coming out of those clouds and hitting the water and the mountains, and it looks incredible. That deserves some photographs. Oh look, there's a little harbour there as well. Didn't even notice that before. Right, so there's a little cabin there and they must own that little jetty. But I'll just make my way down here. Oh wow, this is really quite stunning. This is insane. Loch Awe at, what time is it? Let me just check. It is 2 minutes to 9 on the 13th of July. And this is what I've got. I would love to go for a swim now, but I didn't bring my swim stuff down with me, and I did only go a few hours ago. And I think going now, I would get quite cold. Not that that really is a problem because the van gets so warm. There is just something special about golden hour in the Scottish Highlands. That's also why the west coast, as well as the lochs and the landscape and the mountains and everything, but also the fact that it's where the sun sets. That's why the west coast of Scotland is the place to come. It really is just cementing the fact that this 5-week road trip is going to be insane if this is how it started. Plus getting George and all the others up as well to share these experiences. Monumental stuff. I was driving along that road earlier, being like, this is a journey to nowhere. That's 20 minutes of petrol wasted. I won't be able to find a good park up. I'm too far down Loch Awe to visit a scenic point. How wrong I was. As good as GoPros are, unfortunately, moments like this, they can't capture them. And I know that cameras or drones can't capture them either, compared to looking at it through your eyes. But they do a much better job than the GoPros do. The midges are coming out in full force now, so I'm just about to head back up to the van and settle down for the night. And I'm gonna have to leave this stunning spot. I've been sat here for about 40-50 minutes. I've also been making use of the service because it's 4G here, and normally in places like this there's no service, so I'm making the most of it. Keeping up to date with all the world antics. But yeah, I'm going to leave you on the banks of Loch Awe, and like, subscribe, goodbye. Bloody hell. All of a sudden the midges just got extreme. 1 minute I was sat there and I couldn't feel a thing until about 9:40. And then suddenly all the midges just came out and just started beating me up, so I'm retreating pretty rapidly. Goodbye, Loch Awe. I will be back.